guys, before we crack on with all the cleaning and show you exactly how I do it all, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my YouTube channel recently. It means a hell of a lot to me, and welcome to the channel if you are new, or if you've just clicked on this video randomly, welcome. My name's Bailey, and if you don't know, I do have a lot of fish tanks. I have other animals as well, like geckos, and maybe more to come. You'll have to keep an eye out and see, so make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content that I do create. But enough of me blabbling on, it's time to show you exactly how I clean all my fish tanks. So guys, the tank that I'll be doing my water change on this week is my 125 litre tropical aquarium. Now this is one of my absolute favourite fish tanks. It's got such a different variety of fish in it, from clown loach, baller sharks, rainbow sharks you can just see there, tetras swimming at the bottom. It's just an awesome tank and I love it so much. I also added some new plants recently as well, the real life ones instead of fake ones. So one of the first things I do when I do a water change is I make sure I turn the light off. It just reduces stress of the fish while I'm sort of got my hand in the tank and everything like that. I also then turn off the filter. That's just the thing that I do just to make sure that no dirty things or grime gets sucked up into the filter. And then once I've done that, I simply take the lid off and I use this. This is my little pot of bits down to fish nets, long tweezers I use, and also I have an old toothbrush. Now you might find this weird, but that is probably the handiest tool of cleaning my aquarium out. As you can tell, it gets in there's so many places in the aquarium, and at the end of it, the bristles on the toothbrush is really handy for removing algae that just won't come off with a sponge or anything like that. So I do really highly recommend it if you're ever having trouble cleaning your fish tank to pick up or get an old toothbrush, or even go out and buy a new one, because I can guarantee it helps massively. So once I've done all that, I then just grab my siphon and I siphon through the gravel, making sure I pick up any debris or bits that I've rubbed off with the brush, and suck that all out. And then once that's done, I then add Stress Coat by API to my new bucket of water. Now this just reduces stress, it makes tap water safe as well, so it makes sure that the fish have a nice buff when the new water is added, so don't get so stressed or harmed or anything with the new water being added to the aquarium. I repeat this multiple times obviously until the fish tank is full. But I just want to see, it's just make sure that you've got enough of the whatever dechlorinator you use. Make sure you measure it out perfectly to the right stuff. And as you can tell at the moment, my gravel's a bit all over the place, so I need to sort that out. So that brings us on to the next step with my aquarium, and what I do is I just go around with my long tweezers in between the gravel, and what that does is it basically sieves it out evenly, so there's no sort of bumps or lumps in the gravel that makes it look uneven or just not nice to look at. Guys, for the final touch of my water changes that I do regularly, I add this here. This is aquarium salts, which basically just gives the fish a little bit of a buff as they enter their new sort of like water parameters, but also it actually helps improve gill function as well, which is super important with the fish, especially when you do water changes and introducing new water into the tank. So this goes in last. That is how I do my weekly or bi-weekly water changes. Simple as that really. It's just getting rid of the old water, put some fresh in, make sure the algae's cleaned off the side, and that is basically it. I try to not do too much too often, because then you can get rid of all the beneficial bacteria, as you guys probably know who have fish tanks, and it's so important to keep that in. So that's what I do every bi-weekly or weekly basis, just to keep it clean and make sure that they are looking perfect. Now let me show you my lobster tank now down below, and I'm going to show you exactly how I clean his filter, which is sort of similar to every other filter that I do clean in the way that I do it. So guys, this is my 65 litre dual filter pump. It's a little internal pump that sits inside my lobster tank. It's got different types of filter media in there, such as the sponge I'm taking out now, white floss, and also some bioballs, just to hold that beneficial bacteria in there. So once I've emptied it out all into a bucket of water that I've taken from the tank, I make sure and I clean them all thoroughly. As you can tell, these sponges are pretty dirty as they haven't been cleaned for just under a month. So I'm just making sure that they're nice and clean, washing them off in the clean tank water, and once they're done and all clean and I'm happy with it, I just pop them to one side. And I also grab the white floss. Now this you're meant to change every single time, you're never meant to put the same one back in, and what this does is it basically just clears and keeps the water nice and clean and removes any dirt particles that fly through the filter. So if you have any to spare, just grab some fresh, cut it to size like I'm doing now, because that's what I do, cut some new one up,
and that will go in replacement of the old white floss and where it was as well, because it's so important that if you want to keep your fish tank nice and clean, that is the stuff to use. I'm telling you now, it's so good. It's in all of my filters, and I just really do rate it. So this next stuff is sort of the same thing. It basically just catches dirty particles and everything like that that comes through the filter and make sure it doesn't come out. So it sort of helps make the water nice and clean. So once I've done all that, I just pop my sponge back in. I pop it in the way I've taken it out, in the right place. So as you can tell, it catches the water as it goes through. Then I put the filtration back in, such as the white floss and the membrane foam pad that I've got that I just put in. And then that's all done, really. That's how I clean my filter. As you can tell, it's not a massive filter, so I just make sure that it's all nice and clean and fresh. You guys can see the amount of dirt that can be stored in a filter, even though the water looks really clear. So it is so important to make sure the filter does get changed often. That is my fish cleaning routine video. This is basically what I do on a monthly and every 2 weeks. I do the water and the filter as you saw, but on all of the tanks, and obviously on a bigger scale because I have canister filters as well as ones that are actually in the tank. And I just make sure I stay on top of that every month, every 2 weeks. I personally enjoy doing it. I think that's a part of the hobby that I do really enjoy as well, because I find it super satisfying. And let me know down below in the comments if you guys do have fish tanks, if you enjoy cleaning the tank as much as I do, because nothing is better than a sparkling clean tank. So guys, before I end this video, I'm just going to do a quick fish feeding so you guys can see all the fish and see how much bigger and awesome they have become. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Please go down below and hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. It means a lot to me, and I will see you guys next week. Stay safe, stay happy, and see you later. Bye.